Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome to the Dirt Sheet Radio NXT post-show rewind for July the 9th, 2024. I am Tyler, the pro wrestling hipster, here with
Malik Wilson. What up? What up?
All right, we are here to talk about NXT tonight. It was a very fun show, an exciting show this evening, but before we get into tonight's main event, I do have to give a shout out to our partner on the web, comicbookclick.com. That is comicbookclick.com/dirtsheetradio for all your comic book, pop culture, and professional wrestling needs. Go check it out. Live updates, lots of fun stuff on there. Make it your homepage. Check it out multiple times a day, just like we do, not because we're legally obligated, but because we love to do it. And while you're there, check out our newest sponsor, NordVPN, where if you sign up for 1 full year through our link there on the site, you can get yourself 72% off that subscription for the year. 72% off, folks. That is quite the savings. So head on over after the show, not right now, and do that. But Malik, man, we gotta talk about a pretty fun main event tonight. It was originally set to be Shawn Spears and the new NXT champion, All Ego Ethan Page, taking on Trick Williams and the young OG Javon Evans. But as we'll talk about a little bit later here tonight, Javon was taken out halfway through the show this evening, and Trick had to find himself a new tag team partner. They alluded to it loosely here, but did you think they'd pull the trigger? Tonight, Joe Hendry has a full-fledged tag match on NXT television, and he and Trick Williams pick up the win, predictably, in about 10 minutes and 11 seconds here. Malik, man, what do you think of the main event, the reception that Joe Hendry got here tonight? How you feeling about this one?
I thought it was a pretty good main event. It was good to see Joe Hendry continue to get the pop that he's been getting this entire time, and it was even great to see them actually put him over for him to get the pin for the win for the match. So I thought it was a dope match, man. What about you?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was a lot of fun. The crowd was so bloody excited when his music hit, singing along, doing the hand gestures, the hand with all of it. And I thought the booking on the match was pretty clever too, because they got Ethan Page the hell out of Dodge before the end of the match. Oro Minza attacked him and chased him off through the crowd, which kept him completely safe from really even being culpable to a loss here. And then Shawn Spears was there to take the loss, and it worked great. Spears can take that loss; it ain't going to hurt him.
Right.
Like, and that way you don't have to have your brand new NXT champion losing to anyone tonight, really. So I thought the booking was good. Hendry looked great in there. Trick looked good as always. I'm still interested to see what they're going to do with Trick going forward, because I'm assuming that Ethan Page's first challenger for the NXT Championship is going to be Oro Minza.
Right.
Just, based off of the revenge angle, going for Noam Dar and all that. Like, it kind of at least feels that way. But, I mean, Trick will get his rematch at some point, I assume. But I don't know if it's going to be before or after, if they'll go with another multi-man. They really do love to do that.
I think it'll be a multi-man, because they're starting to add a lot of characters to it, like my idea for the ladder match from the recap show of Heatwave. I think that's probably what we're going to see, because now you have 2 more contenders. I did like the display of karma on the Ethan Page and Ethan Page and Shawn Spears side, because they were so happy to get the handicap match, and what did it turn out to be for Shawn Spears at the end? Turned out to be a handicap match. So good booking, Shawn. I like that.
It was just clever. Like, credit where credit's due for him. It was a very well put together main event, real solid. Like I said, 10-minute TV main event. It's one of those send everybody home happy. And it was hell of a show Sunday night, as everybody watching knows. And we talked ad nauseum about it, but like, they had to follow up on that. I think they did a pretty good job following up tonight. It was a fun show. It didn't drag. I couldn't really say the same thing about Raw in certain spots last night. Raw felt like a maintenance show. This was still a maintenance show. We're pivoting. We're starting to head towards the Great American Bash. But it didn't really feel like, a plug and play kind of episode. It still felt like a lot of effort was put in here and a lot happened. There was a lot of moving parts. But yeah, it was great, man. It was great. Anything else on the main event?
No, that was it.
All right. Yeah. So, so Joe Hendry's here. So I'm assuming that there's going to be more involvement going forward as well. Next week, we'll see and see what happens.
Say his name.
Shucky, ducky, quack, quack. Oh, I will say that was one thing. Vic Joseph said at one point, he was like, "Oh, hey, he's like, what Hendry just did was better than the spinneroonie." And Booker just got real quiet for half a second and said, "No, it wasn't." It was like, "Damn, Book, man, you don't got to be that protective of like the spinneroonie. Like, it wasn't a finish, man. It was." But all right, so we'll as we do hop around here to the start of the show this evening. NXT came to us live from the Performance Center, as is normal. They don't quite go on the road unless it's for a PLE. We had the show open with a quick recap of the events of Heatwave. And again, if you have not watched Heatwave, go do it. And honestly, if you only got time for one match off of Heatwave, watch Sol Ruka and Kalani Jordan.
Yes.
I don't care what the fuck Dave Meltzer says.
Yes. What did he say? Hold on. What did he say?
Oh no,
I did see that. I did see that. And it was the same spot as Ospreay and Ricochet, right?
And he said it was just a gymnastics display masquerading as a pro wrestling exhibition. It was just place like, come on, Dave, come on. Yeah. But the after the recap, we had Ethan Page, the newly crowned NXT champion, make his way to the ring with security, flanked by quite a number of local talent. Way out there with him. He hit the ring, and this crowd was chanting stuff all the way through him. I think they were chanting "Shut the hell up" for the bulk of his promo here. He just talked right through it, which I absolutely admire. You know, I think sometimes heels, especially when you're trying to be the cool heel, you lean a little too into that crowd reaction, the whats and whatnot. But no, he's the champ. He's out there. He's going to say what he has to say, and you're going to listen whether you really want to or not. And I love that presentation for him. He's dynamite on the mic anyway.
Yeah.
But
Braun Breaker did that on Monday Night Raw too. So
just power through it. Like there's something to that, and eventually the crowd will stop. Like that's the thing.
Eventually,
I thought that about the what chants for years. It's like if y'all would quit talking in a way that leaves space, like they just bite on it. I hate the what chants. I love Steve Austin to death, but like that's one of the worst things ever introduced to professional wrestling.
Because it's still going, right?
It will never stop. It is like woo after a chop. But the Ego, he cut a great promo here, and as is often the case with these, he wasn't out in the ring for too long, as he was interrupted by Trick Williams. Malik Mensa, all I had this over here. I've been rambling about Ethan Page for a second, but what did you think of the opening promo? We had Trick come out, obviously quickly there by Spears, and then Javon Evans making his way there. How do you think the guys came across in this? This is one of the first times Javon's really had this much solo time on a mic. By himself, not being guided by an interviewer. So I thought that was interesting. Like, he came across young, I thought, but I want to hand it over now. I want to know what you thought about it.
No, let's get your expertise on it. Go ahead and keep rambling. I actually did miss this part of.
Oh, okay. That's right. Okay.
So
I thought he sounded all right, but he came across young. There was an inexperience to his voice. He didn't really stumble his words, but there was a unassuredness to it, I'll say. Almost like he was very, very much in his head thinking about it. That's kind of how it came across.
That's how it sounded. Okay.
Yeah. Not over rehearsed, just like he was really concentrating. I don't want to drop my line. I don't want to screw it up. But the brawl happened pretty quickly after he got out there. He was the last guy out, so he didn't have a whole lot to say before the brawl happened. So they were kind of maybe keeping that in mind, protecting him a little bit there. But yeah, it wasn't bad, but it's definitely he's already so fantastic in the ring. That's where he's going to have to start to come up a little bit. But I think they've got a.
We were looking to see if they were going to fast track them a little bit to that title picture, which he's in, but it was a fatal 4-way. Let's kind of keep it real. He had his opportunity for a one-on-one match, and then they kind of pulled that back.
Right.
Maybe this is the reason why, because they know that he probably needs work, mic skills, which is totally expected. He's super, super young. So when he does be able to match up those mic skills with his in-ring ability, oh my God, everybody got to watch out.
Yeah. And I think he's got a charisma. Because like the video packages they've done for him, where there's going to be a little more direction, a little more stop and start. He comes across very well. Though, very charismatic. And again, though, young though, but he's got that. He is young. Like he's Gen Z. Like he comes across that way. I'm just glad he's not out there like saying like skibbity and stuff like that. If that happens, then it's over. But oh God.
I heard about that. I don't know what it is yet. I gotta ask.
I don't know. I had to say that. I'm like, what's Ohio Riz? Like, I need to know these things, guys. Like, it's I'm getting old.
Yeah, man, I know, right?
But he comes across very, very well in those produced promos, and I think he can get there. It's just give it time. Like I said, he's so new. Like, my God, he just came off a level up onto the main NXT show, and like I said, he was immediately thrust into the title picture. His first PLE, he's in the main event, and that's a fair point. It was going to be that one-on-one, and then they very quickly kind of pivoted from there. And that is often an indication, as people will say in wrestling, that if they throw you into a multi-man match when it was going to be a one-on-one, it's not necessarily that they lack faith in it. They just aren't 100% that it's going to get the reaction they want to get.
It's okay. It's okay to need
more
time.
It's NXT. This is developmental. Yeah. That's what we're here for. Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Right.
But it was a good opening promo. But from there, they played a quick Twitter exchange. It was the same Twitter exchange as they played on the pay-per-view Sunday between Alexis King and Tony D'Angelo. Although, much to my disappointment, they cut off the bit about Tony D'Angelo saying he was going to come back and water his basil plants. I was sad about that. Like, that was my favorite thing about that promo. Like, I thought that was just such a fun little character flourish for him. God, that beard. He said he was going to slap that fake ass beard off his face.
Beard does look fake.
It does. It looks. The wife has asked that. She's like, "Does he airbrush it on?" I'm like, I don't think so. Like, I think it's just very. I don't know. Like, if I ever meet him again, it's going to be bad because I'm probably going to try to touch his face, and it's not going to be a good situation.
Don't do
like,
that.
just let me. Just let me. What happened? I got a black eye on the shit. Lexus King fucking popped me, man. It was. Turns out the beard's real though, so got an answer. But that's going to take us into our opening match this evening. We had Carmen Petrovic taking on Ariana Grace. They had a bit of a disagreement as to who was responsible for their win during the pre-show at Heatwave. Carmen Petrovic picks up a pretty quick win here in 2 minutes and 37 seconds via a cyclone kick. Pretty much what you'd expect from this. They both look good. Actually, Ariana Grace showed a little more aggression in this match than she typically had.
Really?
She shoved Petrovic down a couple times, shouted, "I'm better than you," and then immediately transitioned into a wave. But it was interesting. Like, it was almost like two different characters from that shove to the wave. But she showed a little more fire here. I'm wondering if they're going to start to transition her a little bit out of the pacifist sort of character that she's been betraying with this, because that can only get you so far.
Yeah, I think it'll be dope for her if she could kind of play both sides. Like, because I remember the criticism we had for her when she was like, "Hey, I don't want to fight" and all of that. Well, obviously that table is starting to turn, and she doesn't mind fighting. So if she could play the pageant girl, but at the same time is the mean girl, I feel like it'll go great for the character that she is.
Yep, absolutely. And she's good, and she's so good, like, character wise, and she's good in the ring too. Like, she's got both, but she is dynamite as a character performer, and I think she can really go far with that as they start to tweak that and give her a little more of aggression. And hey, she got a win in front of her hometown. Once you start to get those W's, maybe you start to care about them a little bit more.
Right.
But it's cool. I like what they're doing with it. But Petrovic picks up the win here. And again, this doesn't really hurt Ariana Grace. I don't think most people are expecting her to win here. But when she starts to turn that aggression all the way up, she'll go on a tear. It'll be pretty solid.
Yeah.
But up next, backstage, we had Brooks Jensen sitting down with general manager Ava. And as you know, Brooks has been wild about the last month or so. He's been busting into the performance center, tearing up the table, threatening Vic Joseph, getting pulled out, interrupting promos, making people sound real bad on the mic on accident.
Wes Lee.
Poor Wes. Wes recovered a lot, though. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But Jensen, he's been drinking in his pickup truck. He disappeared. His fiance couldn't find him for a period of time. Finally, he sits down, and Ava tells him flat out that she and Sean thought about firing him for what he did, for his behavior, for his unhinged actions. But they believe in second chances, and that is exactly what he's going to get. And she reminded him that you are a WWE superstar all the time. Basically saying, hey, mind your P's and Q's even off the clock, watch your ass on social media. Good advice overall.
Yep.
But he said that he will, and he is going to make an impact.
Oh, boy, did he.
Yeah, and he sure did. He sure did. And we'll hit on that in just a little bit. But so our next match, Heritage Cup Championship on the line, the Dawn of NXT Tony D, taking on Lexis King. And Malik, were you? I know you said you missed a portion of the beginning of the show. Were you back by this match or no?
I caught the pinfall. The
Pinfall,
final
okay.
pinfall of the match. The hellacious spine buster that Lexis King took. I caught that.
And that was a hellacious spine buster. Tony
Yes,
D's got a hell of a spine buster.
Yes, he does. The Farouk spine buster is one of the greatest spine busters.
Man, it looks brutal. Like that's the kind of spine buster that will give you like whiplash on the impact. It's nasty looking.
He cares about your body more than Farouk does, though, because the Farouk one is just the Farouk one is just disrespectful. He actually cared. Tony D actually has a heart. Farouk did not with that spine buster.
Well, especially if he was going to follow it up with the damn Dominator, which is, hey Farouk, what's your finish? I pick you up. Then what? I just throw you back down. What? That's it? Oh, really? Yeah. I'm pretty. Oh shit. Okay. Like he would drop motherfuckers like sacks of potatoes off his shoulder with that move. But you're right though. You're right. Tony D is much gentler than Ron Simmons ever was. But that being said, I wouldn't want to fight either of them. That being said,
me neither.
But so interestingly enough, during this match, Eddie Thorpe up in the little crow's nest area they have up there with DJ equipment. Eddie Thorpe is a DJ now, which is quite the shift in character for him. I wasn't expecting it. They kind of did a little bit with it last week in a backstage segment where he's like playing EDM music, but that's what he's doing here, and he's annoying the hell out of Lexis King with it. Apparently Lexis King likes rock and roll and doesn't like this bibbity boppity robot music, as he says. But this is, we'll talk about the Heritage Cup match a little bit more here, but Eddie Thorpe is a DJ.
I'm here for it.
It's something different.
I like new things. If you're going to try something new, I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to see what this turns into. I didn't expect any type of DJ from him. So, hey, Eddie Thorpe, you want to do your DJ thing? Shout out to my boy DJ Danny Ocean. He could probably give you some tips. But hey, other than that, I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's definitely, it is a 180 from the character he has been portraying as like the, hard-edged Native American warrior, brash. Like, this is so different. This is so very, very different. And I know CJ couldn't make it on the show tonight. He had some work obligations he had to see to. But I got to know, next week, we got to get his opinion. I know he's a big Eddie Thorpe guy, and he likes Eddie how he was. So I need to know from a pretty diehard Eddie Thorpe fan, what do you think about this change too? Because it is different. I'll say this though, he looks like he's having a lot of fun with it so far.
Yeah, that's what matters, man. That's when you get the best out of them. Is when they really enjoy the character that they are. That's why I
get this over, get it over. We'll see what they do. This is really the first week they've had him fully portraying this DJ character, but it's interesting for sure. And he was spinning between the rounds of the Heritage Cup. Now that being said, the match itself was solid. I don't know, like there were a couple spots in there that felt a little clunky. A little off, and I don't know that it was Tony D'Angelo's fault.
Lexis King slander.
Like, I like Lexis. They're just maybe their timing was just a little bit off. Maybe they're too similar of styles. I'm not sure, but I didn't feel that they really worked together all that well. Maybe I'm alone on that. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna get ripped apart on the webs for this, but like probably not. And most people don't support Lexis King on the internet. I've noticed. It's sad.
It's not like WWE is giving us much reason
No,
so
they really haven't given him on. Like and now they're throwing him into a feud with DJ Eddie Thorpe. Like, because he ain't gonna win this. This is a new gimmick for Thorpe. You don't give somebody a new gimmick and then have them fucking lose. So he's not going to win this program either. So I don't know. I don't know if they're just buying their time, if they're waiting to have like a clear-cut path for him to do something. And if that's the case, that's fine.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Like, I would almost, if that was the case, they'd rather just have him on level up, getting wins and not losing on TV every week.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to set him to level up after the hype he had.
Yeah, I guess you can't really now. But.
So I mean, it's just tough to be Lexus King these days, man.
The TV.
I mean, at least you got a Heritage Cup match.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. And you got Booker trying to get the TV star thing over. Booker he tries his hardest for Lexus King. He's probably the biggest Lexus King supporter. And I don't know, actually, I will say it's Booker T, because I don't think Booker's really got anybody in his ear anymore. We've talked about that a little bit, because we think that's kind of why he goes off the rails like he does from time to time, especially when he needs to be, like, put back in horny jail. But, like, he really goes hard edge for Lexus King. Like, calling him, TV star dog, don't disrespect the king. Like, he really tries. So, I don't know, like, Book must like him a lot. Also, gosh, a lot of the guys knew Brian Pillman's could be something tied in that, where it's like, I would do my damnedest to get, my, guy I knew's kid over. Like, he's trying. They're trying, but they need to change it up a little bit. Like, he gets booed. And I do think it's a real, like, heat reaction. I don't think it's a get off my TV kind of heat. I think people genuinely do want to boo the guy. He's obnoxious, but it's just like, you got to give him something meaty. I don't know. Hey, John.
He stinks. He fucking stinks. I'm sorry. I'm not going to sugarcoat this shit. He stunk in AEW. He came to WWE. He got a chair. Everybody said, yay, Lexus King. He forgot he stunk. Now you're remembering he stinks again. That's all.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. Mincing. No words. Johnny Dershit.
I mean, you can't really blame John.
No. He really, like, it just ain't working. It just ain't working. Like, and that is sad to say. Like, because I love the presentation. Like, it looks so cool, but I don't know. It ain't happening. I don't know. It's just, they're still trying, and I don't think they'll have given up on it until they call him Brian Pillman Jr. on TV. Yeah. When that happens,
then it'll be lit.
And if that thing, the fuck? I heard like that was everybody heard that, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. I'm not having
Twitter.
Throat, so.
It was Twitter.
Okay. Scare the hell out of me. All right, but Tony D, as predicted here, picks up the win decisively over Lexus King, which is to be expected. I love Tony D as the Heritage Cup champion. I want to see him keep running with it. I like him having the momentum he's got. I think Tony D, we've said this before, I believe in the guy now. I didn't believe in the character 6 months ago. Like, but it's fun. It's now I think it's well done. It's not as cartoony as it once was. The family is a fun cast of characters. I think it's working for him, and I want to see him keep running with that Heritage Cup.
Yeah.
All right. So, coming back from the break there, we had Chase U having a little warm-up chat in the back, coming off of their loss in Canada to Axiom and Nathan Fraser. They were approached by Ridge Holland, and Ridge was, really hyping up, trying to get him back positive. And Andre seemed a little put off by this. Almost like, yeah, like we lost Ridge, like it's great. And Ridge got Thea in a match with Izzy Dame tonight, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. And he also said that he got Duke Hudson a title match, and Duke was amped. He thought he was getting a shot at Ethan Page. Next week, Duke Hudson will be wrestling Oba Femi.
Nice.
To which Riley Osborne said, Oba Femi is going to kill him. Rich Holland wasn't happy with this display of negativity. He's like, no, and he hyped him up. But yeah, so next week, Duke Hudson will be getting a shot against Oba Femi. I'm looking forward to that. They're both big guys, and it's, obviously Oba's gonna, beat him, but it'll be a good, big man match. So it'll be a fun one. But yeah, so the argument is Ridge doing his buddy's favors or not here? It's
yes,
it's a title match. It's a title match, but it's Oba Femi.
It's a title match.
That's fair. Okay, that's fair.
Anything could happen. Okay, I mean, what if Ridge dips into his heel bag and they screw Oba Femi next week? and Duke Hudson is the champ.
Oh my God, dude! I'm gonna be honest. I had not considered that for a millisecond.
The same.
Oh my! That would be so much heat if they did that. Because like Ridge has actually been getting a little bit of a face reaction with his association with Chase U the last few weeks here, especially. That would be interesting because like he and Duke would be thrust into heeldom. But I don't think it would bleed over to Thea or Andre. And Riley's kind of been hopping a little bit there in the middle. That would be, you know what? I think I might get behind that.
I don't think it's going to happen. But
I wouldn't be mad now. Like
I wouldn't be mad. Like if that's the way you get the title off of Oba Femi, it protects Oba Femi. Because I mean, he got screwed over. It's not like it's a straight one-on-one match. Ridge Holland has to do something in order for Oba to lose the title. I think Duke's getting killed next week. It's just me. But with the way Ridge Holland has been acting in Chase U, I understand that Chase U's a face faction and all that, but Ridge Holland, we know this is not.
Yeah, he's a snake in the grass. No, he's wearing a mask right now. This ain't him.
Right.
He's playing make believe, which keeps happening to poor Chase U and Thea Hale. Like they keep getting these people who are like, no, I'm reformed, I'm good, and then they turn on them.
Yeah.
And I don't think that Ridge Holland's going to make a racy calendar before he turns on Chase U like Chase U Chain did.
Yeah.
But after that, we had Gallus making their entrance for their tag match against Tyreek and Tyson, and they were immediately jumped by Tyson and Tyreek. Loved this because they've been really having them run hard at each other the last few weeks, jump each other back and forth. Thought this was fantastic. And it did lead to the ring eventually, and the bell sounded. Now, despite getting the jump over Gallus, Tyreek and Tyson were not able to secure a win here. They lost to Gallus, who picked up the win in 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Man, what'd you think of this one? And this is one of the first really big showings that they've had for Tyreek and Tyson.
Yeah, was really impressed by Tyreek. He's really big. And he's able to do the things that he was doing in the match. It was kind of crazy for me to see. Match was kind of clunky a little bit, but they got time. They got time. They haven't gotten a lot of TV time. It's one tag team that we're going to see grow. But overall, I think it was a pretty good match.
Yeah, and this, I think, I want to say this is their first full match? Or no, they lost to the Good Brothers a couple weeks ago, I think. But and we said that one actually looked a little bit off too. But you're like I said, they're new. But man, they have a great look to them. It's just get them in there, get the reps in. That's what you got to do. That's I think they've been on level up a bit too. So, but just get the reps in. They'll get there. Yep. But all right, back in the back, Kelly Kincaid was interviewing Trick Williams. And asked about Javon Evans being taken out. I missed that. I somehow skipped that in my notes. That's what I get for having my notes in two places. Apologies. We did backstage. Brooks Jensen, after thinking he was going to make that impact, did jump Javon Evans and took him out of the main event here this evening. In the course of the attack, he was pulled off by Briggs, who was like, what the hell are you doing, man? Get out of here, which I thought was interesting because it immediately felt like he's going to be cleaning up his messes left and right now.
Mm-hmm.
But what you think of them doing that? He attacked Javon. They were putting sympathy on him.
It was weird that he attacked Javon. I didn't really get the angle of it, but I was here for the intensity. I mean, he's shown you that he's a madman and he's unhinged for weeks now. So me being surprised that he attacked Javon, I probably shouldn't be surprised because it could have been anybody. Javon is in the main event picture right now. He said he wanted to make a statement. What's the perfect way to make a statement than to beat up the guy who's the hottest superstar, probably on NXT, the most up-and-coming superstar on NXT right now? So he did his job. He did say he did do what he said he was going to do.
Yep. And it's just interesting because it's just they flipped that from him being definitely more in a baby face seat. A lot of somebody oh, I screwed up. I'm appreciative that you gave me this job. And then he jumps who is arguably the quickest rising star on NXT right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, it's interesting. It's like you're not really a face, but like Briggs has kind of been in that same territory. So I don't really know what they're doing. And we'll, talk about what happened with them later tonight. It looks like they're, going to be associated with one another again, in some degree going forward. But yeah, it was an interesting way to go about Jensen making that impact that he said he was going to make.
Yeah, and it gives Javon something to do. If you don't want him in the world title picture, cool. You're going to beat up the guy that jumped you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what you said about his mic skills and everything like that, obviously they do feel that Javon is not ready. And this was the choice that they made. So yeah, we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah. But hey, it'll be good. I have all the faith in both of them to put on a good match and work the program. But we'll see what they do going forward. But that does bring me back to the Trick Williams interview, where he was basically saying he's like, he doesn't care if he has to go it alone. But then he kind of really quickly changed his mind. He's like, you know what, I probably should go find a partner.
Not a great idea.
Which is good, because like that's a complaint I had, like in that, I don't know, like 2010, 2014, like 2010, 2014, they made baby faces dumb as hell. Like, and they would constantly put themselves in these situations where it was a handicap match, or it's the numbers game was against them. And it was nice to see him really quickly pivot to, no, I got to find somebody. Yeah, this is a bad idea otherwise.
Yeah. But I like the segment. At first it was weird to me because of the spaces that he had. Like, he had like a long time of dead silence in his promo. So I'm kind of sitting back thinking, is he forgetting his lines here? Like, what's going on, Trick? But what he said afterwards, maybe he was just upset. Tried to show the people, okay, I'm upset. Let me take this minute to calm down. I'm so frustrated. So overall, it became a nice touch. So applaud Trick for that.
Absolutely. And speaking of promos, that is going to take us to one of the hype segments leading into NXT tonight. Wes Lee stating his intentions and his future at NXT and where he's going to be heading. They played this one heavy. He walked out sad, low energy, real somber, and he hits the ring and he's cutting that promo. Maybe it's time. I couldn't get it done. Hang up the boots. And as he's doing that, he is interrupted by Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel. The crowd went crazy for this, and it looks like the Rascalz are going to be reuniting. Believe me, what do you think of this segment? The surprise of Miguel and Wentz showing up at NXT.
I'm gonna let you take it away for the surprise with the Rascalz. I don't know too much about them, so I will lean on your expertise when it comes to that. But I did think it was a great, effective promo from Wes Lee talking about his surgery and how far he's had to come in order to get that title match again, and how he envisions himself becoming the North American Championship again. It kind of tugged at my heartstrings a little bit. I'm a little bit of an emotional guy. I like stuff like that. So I thought it was a great promo from Wes Lee, but I'll let you get into the effect of the Rascalz showing back up on NXT.
And that being said, with what happened with the Rascalz, that definitely is setting up for what Wes will be involved with going forward for a while. But with him telling that the way he envisioned winning that championship again, his destiny is definitely back to that strap at some point. I think that's probably a big part of why that promo was laid out the way it was. They want to keep that in the back of the mind there. But it looks like here for a little while he will be reunited with his former teammates in the Rascalz. I'm loosely familiar. I'm really more familiar with Trey Miguel out of the three of them. I know Wes here, but this is part of the NXT TNA crossover that they're doing, and it's interesting because I thought that Zachary Wentz had been released recently as well, because I know that I'd seen him just going by remember his name, Carter something, Nash Carter. Mm-hmm. So I'd seen him on socials and stuff against that, so I wasn't really sure, but it's wild now. Apparently anything at all can happen on NXT at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But and I'll say this, and so not being as familiar with him, I'll ask you this: did you get a sense during their promo, when they came in the ring and the way they were, chatting with Wes and everything, did you get a sense of, the deepness of their, kind of their brotherhood and camaraderie?
I got the sense of that when they hugged. That was a long hug.
Yeah.
So it just kind of seemed like they were talking to Wes. Like it just seemed like he was genuinely happy that they were back. So even though I don't know too much about the Rascalz, I'm very excited to see what they have in store.
I will give a small backstory just so you guys are fully informed. The Rascalz are great. They were in Impact prior to their NXT run together. They had a fun little That 70s Show inspired weed gimmick. They would do smoke room things in the back. They had like a segment with Rob Van Dam. It was a dream come true and all that stuff. Pete Wentz, Zachary Wentz, and Wes Lee signed with NXT without Trey Miguel. Trey Miguel decided to play it on his own. Zachary Wentz ends up getting fired from WWE due to some fucked up. He had a picture of himself when he was very young, where he had a Hitler mustache shaved onto his face, and an ex of his, a scorned ex, decided to post it online. So he kind of really got screwed over there. So that's a really, really cool thing to see him back on WWE TV after that situation, because that wasn't a fireable offense. That was someone took a joke from a young age and brought it up maliciously as a weapon against the man to ruin his life. So it's very cool to see that WWE he's not on some banned list or anything like that, and who knows, he might get his job back in the future. So that's kind of the implication.
That firing was still under Vince. When was he released? John will return. I don't know. He might be muted. I'm not sure. This happens to CJ all the time.
Yeah.
The accidental muting is definitely a real thing. But there we are. Was he fired under Vince?
What's my fucking wire out by myself? Yeah, but it wasn't like a Vince move. It was like a PR move. It was like the company felt they had no choice because it's a Hitler mustache. But it clearly enough time has passed.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that I was not aware of. Admittedly, there is a section of NXT that I did not see very much of at all. And I was not aware of the Hitler mustache firing. Like I said, of the three of them, I knew way more about Trey Miguel, which is wild because he wasn't on this stage. But the crowd's excited. And I guess, as John said, given all that, it is cool that they would bring him back and kind of be like, yeah, you made a dumb mistake as a kid. And the crowd was hyped. Crowd was hyped for this. And we'll talk about what direction it looks like they're going to be heading in with the three of them a little bit later. Before we move on, Malik, man, anything else on that promo?
No, that's it. I just hope I hope this reinvigorates Wes Lee. I really do, man. Like, he deserves that North American Championship. It's like when people talk about Michael Jordan and the people that are in this era. Like, you deserve to be champ. It's just that this is Oba Femi's era, bro. Like, what more do you want? Like, it's not your fault. Like, you would probably be champ if Oba Femi was not there. So it's just good to see it's just good to see Wes Lee with his homies again.
Yeah, I have a thought about Wes Lee. He looks like Keith Lee, not the wrestler, but the food guy. I've thought that for the last couple weeks, and then I saw somebody post it on Facebook, and I was like, "Fuck, that was that." I thought of that shit first. But yes, he looks exactly like the food cook. I felt like bringing that shit up. It's ridiculous. I'm high. I'm sorry.
I mean, not alone, sir. But that we'll hop from there back to the backstage where we had Ethan Page and Sean Spears warming up as Sarah Schreiber was asking them questions about the main event. They healed it up and talked about the main event and how Trick was going to be all alone, and they'd beat him and all that jazz. And then they asked Sarah Schreiber to leave so they could prepare for the match.
Oh, he rudely asked her to leave. Hey, do you mind getting out of here so the champ can finish warming up for his match? Great heel work. I'm a little bit wondering who Sean Spears had to go talk to them. I don't remember them showing who he had to go give advice to. That kind of made something a little weird. I was like, is he going to turn on Ethan Page later? Because you weren't involved in a match for the title, man. I don't see you two being buddy-buddy. That's a little weird. So I want to see how they emphasize that probably next week to see who Sean Spears was talking to or who needed his advice. But I think it was a great segment, especially for Ethan Page's heel work. I love when they do that. The Rock and Michael Cole and all types of shit. I love stuff like that. Like, that's what the announcers are kind of there for. If you're so
you're gonna get a little punch bag for him, and he's good at it. He's good, and and it's not like it's mean and aggressive without being like vulgar about it, which I think is a line that is something that's careful to balance. Especially when they're still on USA, and as of last night, apparently USA is pretty happy to start censoring stuff too.
Yeah.
So that was they were going pretty hard on censorship last night. So. But it was good though. I like that he's cruel without being vulgar about it, and that's good. You gotta walk that line sometimes. But Ethan Page is good. He's a damn good heel, damn good.
Right.
But that is going to take us into our next match on the card: Thea Hale with Chase U taking on Izzy Dame 1-on-1. Thea Hale picks up a submission victory here in 3 minutes and 33 seconds with a Kimura. Malik, what did you think of this one?
Where the hell did Tatum Paxley come from? And why was she in the student section? Like, these are things that pops up in my head. Why was she wearing red and black? Is she with Chase U? Like, what's going on here? Like, that's the thing that popped up into my mind. It was a great match. Like, I love the match. Like, Thea Hale and Izzy Dame, they could definitely go. But this is just kind of the thoughts that came into my head when I saw the match.
I didn't even pick up on the fact that she was wearing red and black. I didn't catch that, but she crawled out the student section, chased Izzy Dame around a little bit, and they also had an NXT Anonymous segment later tonight with Tatum, which we'll go ahead and hit that real quick since we're talking about Tatum now. But they had her backstage rambling on, as she tends to do, and she was playing with the doll, and she dropped the headless doll on the ground, and then it was picked up by Wendy Chu. So they're evil Wendy Chu, Nightmare Wendy Chu. So they're setting something up there for sure. They played with it last week on Instagram. They did a little "You Got a Friend in Me" bit where they were backstage. But so looks like they're gonna be doing something with them going forward. But Tatum in the student section, red black. Tatum's everywhere. Tatum just kind of shows up where she wants to show up. She's unhinged. They kind of got her doing that. A variation of that old Nikki Cross shtick, where she's just kind of showing up places. But she doesn't just stare at you. She'll attack you and scream and ramble. It works, though. I like it. I think she's very good at it. But Thea Hale picks up the win here after the match. Oba Femi up in the crow's nest. They'd gotten rid of DJ Eddie Thorpe's equipment. So Oba was up there with that. Actually, they should have just kept it up there. Oba should have just hit some EDM and then got rid of attention. But Oba has some words with Duke Hudson. I dug their quick exchange here. I think Oba sounds great on the mic. He has such a presence. He's got everything. I feel like a lot of times, we spend a lot of the show just gushing on Oba Femi, but he is so damn talented in every aspect of this already, and he's so young, and he has so much time to get better than he already is. It's amazing. But Duke Hudson also sounded good here on the mic, I thought.
Yes, he did. That's what I was going to bring up. As much as we going to give Oba Femi his flowers, we need to give Duke Hudson some flowers for his promo. I didn't notice the intensity in his voice. He went from worrying about the match to, I guess. Okay.
Oh, can't hear you, man.
Can't hear me?
Oh, there you are. You're back. I got you now.
Hear me now? Okay. All right. Me and John have the same issues. So I was like, I want to give Duke Hudson his flowers. It was an impassioned promo for him. He went from not necessarily believing himself. I don't know if him seeing Thea Hale brought a fire in him or if it was Ridge who did it. But this is what we need from Ridge Holland, especially when you're going against a guy from Oba Femi. I'm not interested in a match with you not believing in yourself against Oba Femi. I'm sorry. I'm not. So I think it was a great touch for him to have that type of promo with Oba Femi to be like, hey, don't overlook me, bro. I'm coming to win that championship.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely it's again, I don't think that Duke's gonna beat Oba, but it gives it that kernel of doubt there, that believability. And I'm looking forward to the match. I think they're going to be able to pull off some convincing near falls. And I think part of the reason those near falls will be as convincing is that promo. Yeah. Duke doesn't get the opportunity to really talk just by himself like that a lot. And hell, maybe that's part of it too. Like, he's like, I got this chance. I'm going to capitalize on it. Because, while the Chase U gimmick, well, I don't really think it could function on the main roster. I think they could find something for Duke Hudson to do on the main roster.
Yep. He got the look. He got the size. You add that promo ability, man. Sky's the limit for him too.
Yep. They will find a place for him. Like I said, I think Chase U will always be on NXT. I think they're probably just going to always have people running through them. It's a quick way to get somebody like elevated at least to a certain level. But yeah, I don't think Andre Chase is going to be taking this gimmick up north as it would be. But after that, we actually I should ask before we move on. Anything else on that before we move on?
No.
All right. And after that, backstage, we had the Rascalz making their way through the back, and they ran into Gallus. And this is what I was referencing earlier. I would absolutely love to see this just, 3-on-3. Let's the first time we run it, let's do a traditional 6-man tag. Things go awry, DQs happen. The next time we go, street fight, no DQ, that kind of route. You can get a couple. You know what? We could probably. They could rush this and do it at the Great American Bash, but they could probably get a lot more juice out of this. There's a mix of singles matches you can do here. Obviously, the 6-man tags, traditional, tornado, whatever. There's a lot of mileage I feel like you can get out of Gallus and the Rascalz.
Didn't they announce it for next week?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like, I don't think it's gonna go the first time. It's gonna fall apart.
I hope they did. Sorry, Tyler. They're running that thing.
Damn it, Sean. All right. Well, if it just goes into a schmoz really quickly, it doesn't really count. And you always go that way to protect the match and stretch it out longer. But I would hope that they've got longer term plans than just blowing that one out next week. I would hope. I think Sean's got more discipline than that. So I'm hoping that, and I'm not often one that's like advertise a match that ain't really going to happen. But this is a case where I would let it slide, mostly because this irritates me that they're doing it so fast.
Right.
Sean. All right. We'll move on, though. But, so after that, was that the quick, pre-match promo they had with Jada and OTM heading out to the ring?
Match.
Yep. Which again, good on them, making sure they get Jada front and center with OTM there. Because again, we say this a lot. She is OTM at the moment, but after tonight, OTM is a little more OTM. But before that match happened, coming back from the break, they had Ava yelling at Jensen backstage in her office, and basically they did kind of set up here what I felt was coming. Briggs is like, hey, I vouched for him to come back. He's my responsibility. Sorry. And they said here that next week, if Javon is able to do so, he will be taking on Brooks Jensen one-on-one. And Brooks said he did not want his buddy Josh Briggs out there with him. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know. Jensen's, he's a bit of a wild card at the moment. But we'll see what happens there. Briggs is just going to be babysitting. I don't know. I guess I don't feel like this was their original long-term plan with Josh Briggs when they broke this team apart.
I don't either. The cards fall where they may.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's NXT. That's it. That's the whole thing. You keep trying shit until something sticks. Like, clearly, the guys have talent here. Like, the pieces are there. It's just you got to make them click in the right way.
Yeah.
Wrestling Tetris, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But up next we had OTM with Jada Parker taking on the Good Brothers. Michin, interestingly absent from their entrance here, and that'll come into play a little bit later. This was a solid match. This is one of the best showings OTM has had on NXT television. I thought they looked real good here, and they picked up the upset victory in just under 5 minutes. This was solid. As you saw there, Michin partway through the match there made her way down the ramp and brawled there with Jada Parker. But Malik, man, what'd you think of this match and how OTM looked tonight?
I thought it was a solid match. I thought they looked really good. Even their promo in the beginning was really good walking out to the ring. One criticism though, the finisher is not that dope. I mean, it was weird to me. It looked like it was about to be a magic killer. I was like, oh, they're gonna do the magic killer to them. Like, I'm gonna be fired. But other than that, I thought it was a pretty good match. And of course, I'm here for anything Jada Parker and Michin are gonna do. So
they haven't really had a lot of time for OTM to workshop a finishing move, as they don't win a lot of matches. So I'll give them a little bit of leniency there, but yeah, no, you're right. Did they even call it anything on commentary?
I don't think so, no.
I didn't pick up on anything. So it's like Vic Joseph didn't even know what to call it. So they'll figure something out for them. But they look pretty good here tonight, I thought. And if they can get a little bit of Jada Parker's rub over to them, that would be good too for them. But yeah, like you said, anything that Michin and Jada Parker are going to do, I'll watch it. And clearly, they've been working a fun program here. It was more about Michin and Jada at first, and now they're interjecting the OC and OTM there. I'm going to end up messing that up saying that so many times, OTM and OC. That's probably why I call them the Good Brothers. That's why they got so many names. They can augment it based off of who they're working with.
Yep. Aren't they just called the Good Brothers now? They still call them the OC?
I swear they go everywhere on commentary with it. But.
I was gonna say, you asked what commentary was saying when they hit this move, and it was just Booker T saying, "Is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen?" So I guess that is the name of the finisher.
Okay, is it gonna happen? There we go. So OTM wins via "Is it gonna happen?" That's what. Damn it! Now that even when they give it a name, that's what we're gonna call it.
Yeah.
Damn it, Booker. Damn it. But no, solid match though. And obviously this ain't over. They're gonna keep rolling with this, I'm sure, into the Great American Bash, which is just weeks away. All right, outside in the world's most dangerous parking lot, proving the point again as to why it's so dangerous, Charlie Dempsey is shoving someone into a trunk. I'm going to make the assumption here that it's Damon Kemp, who is apparently not renewing or either is not renewing or has not renewed. I don't know. Point is, he ain't under contract anymore. He's gone. Damon Kemp is gone. And the No Quarter Catch crew continues to kind of revolving door some members out. It's interesting. It's just very odd to me that in the course of 7 weeks, they've lost 2 people that were kind of founding members. So it makes sense, a lot more sense now as to why they, put Tavion Heights in there with them. Because we thought it was to bring them back up to being a quartet, but it's like WWE probably clearly knew that Kemp was on his way out at that point. But yeah, it's an interesting little turn of events there. And there was a witness to it. Rin Sinclair saw the whole thing, but she said that she saw nothing. But she has her phone facing them. Oh my God. Rin Sinclair is NXT Anonymous. I'm calling it now.
I was gonna laugh at David Kemp. Do you think he realized it was coming? Like when they replaced him in the group, do you think he was?
Is that why he made that face last week? Like he was like, "Wait a minute."
He's like he hit him midway. Hold on. He only got the job because of his brother. As fucked up as it is.
I didn't know that until today that he's Gable Stevenson's brother. I had no idea.
He ended up being much better than Gable Stevenson. Like he was actually worth the effort. But whatever. I hope he doesn't give up on wrestling though. He had a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. That is interesting. We said that last week after that match. He did kind of look a little perturbed. And maybe that was why. Maybe it was just like, son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm. What was going on?
Yeah. But
rest in peace to him, though. Because Charlie Dempsey is now officially the most dangerous man in NXT because he caught a body and put it in the trunk. And his man's over there, the one in the white shirt. I forgot his name. But he's traumatized at the situation. So that tells me that Charlie Dempsey is a killer. So I wouldn't want to mess with Charlie Dempsey from here on out. He's already
the man is unhinged. Like, I feel like somewhere like William Regal is like getting rid of the bodies for him. Truly, like he's like, God damn it, gotta clean this up again. Like it's he's looking out for him. He's looking out for him. He's proud of his potentially murderous child.
Yeah.
Hey, King Regal is a villain after all, folks.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So up next, the last match we will be discussing this evening. We had Sol Ruka taking on Fallon Henley 1-on-1. The match ended. Sol won via DQ when she was jumped by Fallon Henley's evil friends, JC Jane and Jasmine Nix, and they left her laying in a heap. So continuing the angle here between them and furthering the teaming of Jane, Nix, and evil Fallon Henley. Malik, what do you think they're doing with this? With the heel Fallon?
Or did you? I'm sorry. Did you?
Yeah. I'm sorry. How do you think? Where do you think they're going with this? With like the heel Fallon, like how do you think it's going for so far as a heel character?
I mean, you about to put it with JC Jane, so I'm pretty sure she's about to do some devious shit. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, time will tell. I'm a little bit disappointed, man. I want to see Sol Ruka go heel. It doesn't seem like that's what's going to happen here. You obviously put that to bed. We'll put her in the match with another heel. But hey, I'm more excited to see what's happening with Sol Ruka. Honestly, I want to see what's next for her.
I think the only like possible real heel route I could see for Sol still going right now is if she were to align herself with them to get the North American title off of Kalani Jordan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like if it could be like that, where it's just like, well, they just kind of keep like costing her matches, and it's kind of like if I can't beat him, join him kind of thing, and she can go evil off that. But I can still see going that way. But yeah, as it stands right now, it doesn't really feel like they're heading towards the. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I couldn't think of a clever pun for evil Sol Ruka. I'm sorry, guys.
Me neither. We got time. Yeah,
we'll get there. We'll get there. But David, so right after that, we had the NXT Anonymous segment we talked about just a little bit ago, where they showed that there probably will be a full alliance going forward between the Nightmare Evil Wendy Chu and the very creepy weird Tatum Paxley. I'm here for it. Let's put the weird girls together. Yeah.
I'm here for it too.
Yeah. Like they were chewing on their sleeves and hissing at chicks in high school, and here they are now teaming up. So I say that with all due respect. I was a theater and a tech kid, and so these were my friends. So I say that from experience. And that's what Ohio Riz is, y'all. But after that, a couple more cool little, I guess, signings, as it would be, to NXT. They returned outside of Ava's office. Ava, Sophie Turner, and Cedric Alexander walked out, and they said there that Alexander was now a member of the NXT roster. A little perturbed, Mr. Stone walking up seemed like they were kind of stealing his thunder, stepping on his announcement here, and he very quickly introduced them to Ashante the Adonis, and looks like he's joining the roster as well. So, couple new faces there. They're doing something with Cedric.
Weren't they a tag team like last week?
Yes.
Where?
Well, I mean, on dark matches, but
oh, okay. I was like, fuck, what did I miss? Like,
they actually did have segments air on SmackDown for them to be a team and just never showed up.
Yes, and everything, and nothing happened.
Damn. Veer is coming, I guess. That's it. That happens. The first time I remember that as a kid, it was Brockus. Like weeks and weeks of Brockus promos, and Brockus never did shit.
You got that. At least you didn't get you would have been there for Mordecai.
Yeah.
Mordecai, the racist Undertaker, which is weird because Undertaker is already a racist.
Shit. Jesus Christ. Oh man.
But nah, shout out to Cedric, man. I really want to see him do something. He's an amazing talent. He should not be in catering. He shouldn't, man. You could always find something for Cedric Alexander to do. NXT should be the place for him, man.
Yep.
Hopefully they don't put him, Ashante, and Apollo Crews in a stable. That would kind of be really disappointing, Sean. So please don't do that. Unless you're about to bring a Hurt Business to NXT, or you want to revamp something like that to shut MVP up, I'm here for that. You can do that. But
otherwise,
that,
let him have a singles run.
Yeah.
And Cedric's amazing. Like it's funny. I was driving the other day, and I can't remember the name of the song, but it was his and Caprice Coleman's entrance theme when they were the CNC Wrestle Factory in ROH. And I was just kind of limited that I'm like, I haven't seen Cedric do anything in a while. And I'm like, that was a fun tag team. But like, it's real cool to see Cedric getting on NXT television. I look forward to them doing something with him because he should be in a spotlight somewhere. Like he's too good to not be wrestled on TV.
Yeah.
But that brings us up to the main event tonight. Malik, man, before we get into our jobbers and megastars, is there anything else on tonight's NXT that you wanted to touch on?
No, I think that was about it, man.
All right. Well, folks, before we talk about our jobbers of the night, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Monk.com. Monk.com for all of your aromatherapy needs. You can get there. And if you use our promo code DSR10, you can save yourself 10% on the aromatherapy at Monk.com. Head on over after the show and place an order from them. But all right, so that is going to bring us to the NXT jobber of the night. That's a weird noise. I apologize. Malik, who do you have as your jobber of the night?
Lexus King.
Okay. God damn, that was fast.
Gotta be Lexus King, man. I understand they gave you the match, but you didn't win it, bro. You gotta win some of these matches, bro. Like, it just seems like they're doing nothing with him. And, like, we keep shooting the bell every week, and John buried him tonight, so that's officially over.
Yeah.
John buried him. But I'm starting to lose faith, man. I really am at this point. So that's why he's my jobber tonight. It has nothing to do. It was from hearing you, it sounded like it was a good match. A little clunky, but it was still a good match. So that's not the reason why. The reason why he's the jobber of the night for me is because it just seems like it's not working here. That's why he's my jobber of the night.
That's pretty impossible to disagree with, man. Like I kind of leaned a couple ways back and forth here. I can't disagree with that though. It has to be Lexus King, and it's unfortunate because like I like the gimmick, but yeah, it's a sad state of affairs for him. I don't know what you do now. Do you take him off TV? You know, do you make him like take him off for 3 or 4 months, have him come back with a completely different character? Like,
I don't know, man. I really don't know what you do at this point because he was off TV for a while before he even showed up. So it's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, oh, you take him off of TV again. You just revamped his character. So what's going to be that? Unless it's Brian Pillman and he's just totally unhinged, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? But I would rather them build that up for him and then he just snap. Like, I would rather it just be that. But hopefully they figure out something for him because then this past year has just been like a waste. You don't want that for him. Like, you know what I'm saying? So at least try something different for him.
Well, and I mean, if they are going to push him towards like losing and he says, fuck it, I'm Brian Pillman Jr., they're definitely going at least in a direction they can take that because he's not going to beat Eddie Thorpe. That's not happening. Like, Thorpe has to start because I think they have a lot of faith. I think they have more faith in Eddie Thorpe than they have in Lexus King. And especially like coming into a new gimmick, they're not going to have him lose the first program with that new gimmick. So, King's having a hard time right now. But that's going to move us into the megastar of the night. And there are plentiful options for the NXT megastar of the night. But I have it narrowed down to one name in mind, and that name is Joe Hendry.
Obviously.
Like, that's it, guys. It's Joe Hendry. The reaction, the desire of the crowd for him to be there, and then the reaction to it. It was, you love to see it. This is one of those things in pro wrestling you always enjoy. A crowd can make a moment, and this was quite the moment. This will be, well, shit, they don't do DVDs anymore. I was going to say on the Joe Hendry DVD that comes out in 20 years, this will be something that's on there, but you get my drift. This is a big moment for him in his career on this level of stage, and it was awesome to see, and I'm excited to see what they do with him going forward.
Yeah, same. I have the same megastar tonight. I'm going to just say this because you wrapped it up perfectly. He's only been there a couple of times and the crowd is singing his song word for word, bar for bar. That's all you need to do.
I hope they give him some, adequate time to do things at NXT because I always fear when someone is really, really over and gets a certain type of reaction, it's going to be like, well, let's put him up top. But I feel like we're at a lot less of a risk of that with the current administration. But yeah, it was an awesome moment, and they gave him a lot of shine. They let him get the pinfall over Shawn Spears, which I thought was pretty cool. I thought, obviously he and Trick were going to win the match. I did not think Hendry was going to get the pin though. But very, very cool, very cool. And and I think they handled his being there tonight in a way that it didn't really overshadow Trick either. Trick was still a big focus of that, and that was something that I heard some rumblings when it looked like this was the direction they might be going tonight online. I heard some rumblings that people were a little concerned that it might kind of Bigfoot Trick away, but I don't think it felt that way at all. Trick's still going to be doing his thing, and I guarantee they're going to find something for Hendry to be doing. Probably with Shawn Spears going for it. I'm sure Shawn Spears is going to be full of piss and vinegar next week about losing to Hendry, but it was fantastic, and without question, megastar of the night tonight. But hey, folks, we appreciate you listening to us here talking about professional wrestling. And if you had a good time listening to us talk about professional wrestling, I have some wonderful news for you. Wonderful news. We do this pretty much every day of the week. I mean, not us in particular. We are here often, but someone from Dirt Sheet Radio is here every weeknight breaking down professional wrestling for you. We are here on Monday nights breaking down Raw. We are here on Tuesday nights, as you know, breaking down NXT. Wednesday nights for AEW Dynamite. Thursday nights for TNA Impact. And of course, Fridays for SmackDown. And hey, if you're up late on Wednesdays and want to listen to something fun, check out the DSR flagship. It is always posted early Thursday morning, but they are doing it live in the middle of the night, y'all. It's always a good time. And on Sundays, Malik, there's a pretty cool thing that happens every Sunday too, right?
3AT, let's get it.
Every Sunday, 3AT podcast. Check that out, guys. They are always doing it. And you guys did two live watch-alongs this past weekend.
Yeah, putting that work. You know what I'm saying?
And then you did the recap with me on Sunday. I was the Iron Man Malik over here. Never stops.
No.
Always on the grind.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Not
sir.
shying away to the grind. You hear that, Hunter?
Hire me,
But,
Hunter. I had an interview.
Exactly.
Hire me, Hunter. Stop playing. You see me up here. Stop playing, Hunter.
Right. Hashtag. But yeah, that's I'm trying to. I feel like I'm missing a couple plugs. John, what am I missing?
Monk.com, aromatherapy.
You pretty much hit them all on the head. I guess I'll plug Major Issues because I'm already here. If you're into X-Men, this week is a great week for you. And there's already 3 hours logged in. Grant Morrison's 4-year run on New X-Men. I've read the whole damn thing. We split it in half. I did a 3-hour podcast last week. I'll do another one this Thursday. Go check out part 1. Catch me on part 2. I'll see y'all.
Right on. All right. Well, hey, Malik, real quick before we get out here, tell the folks at home and around the world where they can find you next.
You can find me here next week because I'm taking the rest of the week off, motherfuckers. Because I did it. I'm taking the rest of the week off. Nah, it's my son's birthday week, man. I'm trying to make this a special week for him. I'm gonna make sure I get to the grind. Make sure I spend some time with my kid. He's turning 14. Chance, I love you, my boy. You getting big. You know what I'm saying? That is. You the GOAT, man. That's all I'm going to say. You the GOAT. We're going to rock out on your birthday on Friday, man. I can't wait.
Hell yeah. Well, have fun with that. And, guys, it's same. You won't see me again until next week. I am here every Monday night and every Tuesday night doing Raw and then SmackDown. And if you want to find me on the socials, guys, I am on the Twitter and Instagram, but I don't do things there other than farm pictures for memes and posts. So the Pro Wrestling Hipster over on Facebook is where I'm going to be doing most things. It's a lot of memes and a lot of fun. But so find me there. But otherwise, we'll see you back here next time, guys. Have a wonderful night. Thank you guys for tuning in.